feel like I join the choir. Shit, I should go to church. Amen. Praise the Lord. Amen. Amen. Praise the Lord. I think I'ma join the choir. Cause we was sinning, we was hanging in the field. We had Glocks with extensions, it was wicked and tricky, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. I think that I'ma join the choir. Cause we was sinning, we was hanging in the field. We had Glocks with extensions, man, this chicken got real wicked and tricky, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. I think that I'ma join the choir. What you know about losing your best friend, or losing your best man, losing your blood brother from a senses, wishing you can free him again. All the real niggas put y'all hands in the air for the real niggas y'all can lost. All the real niggas chuck y'all gang in the air for all the bitch niggas y'all done tossed. Man, this shit got real crazy, feel like we losing niggas on the daily. All I had tears in my eyes, anger said somebody need to die. I was trying to get some get back, they killed my homie of a bitch nigga. I be down, won't get my get back. Let's crack and look at me wrong, that boy about to get his shit pushed back. I think I'ma join the choir. Cause we was sinning, we was hanging in the field. We had Glocks with extensions, it was wicked and tricky, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. I think that I'ma join the choir. Cause we was sinning, we was hanging in the field. We had Glocks with extensions, man, this chicken got real wicked and tricky, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. Oh, we was sinning, yeah. I think that I'ma join the choir.
Hey, I was just leaving the store. I had to tell you, you look so pretty. What's your name?
Alright, so fellas, if you're gonna approach a shorty, don't open with, oh, you look so good, or oh, you're so pretty, like, how are you? Don't do that. Number one, they're used to hearing that all the time. And number two, you don't want to come off too strong, and you don't want to show all your cards right away after the first sentence. So what you do instead, very simple. There's a couple of ways you could do this. Number one, if she's a random girl, you don't know who she is, she's a stranger on the street, you can just say, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Off rip, you'll be able to tell whether or not she's feeling you or not. If she gives you good eye contact, she kind of smiles when she says hello to you, she might be feeling you. But if she tries to walk away, says, oh, I'm good, how are you? Like, she doesn't give you any type of reciprocation, she's not feeling you, bro. Just keep it pushing. Or if you're in an area where you're not too familiar with, just ask her, oh, like, hey, where's the nearest Starbucks at? Or where's the nearest cafe? Something like that. Just to get the conversation going. Don't open up with, oh, you look so good. Don't do that. To be honest, it doesn't even matter what you open up with. Just read her reaction to you saying hello, and if she's not feeling it, just keep pushing. And if she is, keep the conversation going.
So here are the biggest cons of dating overseas for all the passport brothers. Number one is, bro, there's a chance you're gonna be used for your money. There's always that chance, but I will tell you, even if you're dating out here in America, there's a chance you're gonna be used for your money. So just weigh out your pros and cons. Number two is, bro, you can't really spend much time there unless you get a remote job. Majority of the time, you're just gonna be getting on a plane, go there for a few weeks, and you're gonna come back thinking like, damn, when am I gonna go back? When am I gonna go back? When am I gonna go back? So realistically, it's not that practical. And then number three is, bro, once you go down there, you might be spoiled a little too much and not want to come back. But put in the comments what are the biggest cons.
Thank you guys. Before I stroke my ego too much with this one, I'm going to explain why it's so much easier to get girls overseas. America and the West is having such a conflict of genders right now, and it makes women a lot less approachable, and it makes them harder to confirm dates. But before guys are like, yeah, if those girls are stuck up, a lot of it's your fault, guys. So I date all over the world. When I approach, I ask for a girl's Instagram because it's easier than a phone number, and I often see things like this. So here's a girl I dated and made a TikTok with. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. Pay attention to that. 18 likes on Instagram after one TikTok together. My audience is all Western guys. Now she's a fucking celebrity. 700 in like the day after. Now she's experiencing what Western girls experience. 5 guys in the DMs every single day. And it's the paradox of choice. You can't blame women. The grass is always going to be greener. If guys mess up, there's 10 more new coming every single day. Guys in other countries hand out their attention sparingly. They understand the more they give, the less it's worth. It's a vicious cycle, then guys think they need to go out and give more and more of their attention. It's led to such an attention gap in social media. I know women get 5x the amount. True or not? What do y'all think?
All right. Welcome to the Too Much Moxie podcast. I am your humble host, Too Much. And with me today is our co-host, the big Walter Downey.
What's going on?
Give a cheer.
What's up, brother? What's up, viewers?
What's
How y'all doing out
going
there?
on? What's going down? And did I forget to mention that we definitely in the building? Man, we got one. We got a Patreon exclusive that we're going to go ahead and put it on the YouTube, man. Normally, we save this kind of stuff for the Patreon. We want to go in, but we only going to do an hour today. We're going to tease y'all a little bit today. Y'all see the thumbnail. Y'all see the title. How to vet overseas women. Honestly, I think this is probably the most. This has probably been in the woodworks for a long time. This is probably people want to see this. People want to know this. They want to know, how are these brothers going overseas and getting these women? How are y'all doing it? And how dare you get you a woman overseas and bring her back to the States? How dare you? How are you able to do that? Aren't you afraid that some handsome brother with more game is going to steal your woman? Are you afraid? Are you afraid to bring that? Are you afraid to go bring that girl overseas and just bring her back to the States because she probably using you for money? Right? What is going on? What are these passport bros? What are they all about? What are they talking about? How do we get one of them fine chicken tenders overseas and bring them back to the States and not get caught slipping on our pimping and get them stolen from another brother from out this way, and not get them Americanized, right? Not get them infused in this toxic hookup culture. How do you bring them back over here? How do you vet these women? How do you know what you're getting? How do you know what you're getting? How do you inspect what you expect? That's what we're about to talk about today. And I got with me today the Big Water Downing. The Big Water Downing he been searching. He been like, oh, what's going on? What's going on with these foreign women from another land? So I said, you know what, man, let's just go ahead and do a show, man. Let's just go ahead and get this going, man. Let's go and get this going, man. And y'all forgive me, man. I am struggle streaming. I got attacked last night by some Clippers. So y'all got to forgive me. And y'all see I lost. I lost the battle. The Clippers won. Okay? I lost. Yeah, I feel like I done knocked off like 10, 15 years off my life right now. You know, I was feeling myself. I was feeling like yay. You know what I'm saying? I was feeling like a billionaire. You know, that's why I wore the beard. And I looked like, you know, I was homeless. You know, I was looking like yay. You know, walking around with my Balenciagas and my Yeezys on, right? I was feeling like yay with the beard. But then I got attacked. I got jumped, actually. I got jumped. And the Clippers attacked. Nah, you want to know what really happened? Let me tell you what really happened. What really happened is my boy was like, you should dye your beard. I was like, nah, I can't do that. You know, I can't dye my beard. So he went out and he bought some dye. And he said, man, you should dye your beard, man. Let me hook you up. So I'm like, do I want this brother to dye my beard? I was like, all right. Go ahead, man. Let's dye this thing. Right? Not knowing that my natural hair color is not black. My natural hair color is dark brown. So the brother went out and brought the black dye. And when he put the black dye on my face, I kid you not, man, it looked like somebody drew this beard on. It looked like somebody just colored it in, right? Just colored in my beard. We got 39 people in the chat, man. Make sure y'all come in. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, right? And definitely hit the notification bell. Because honestly, I just stream whenever sometimes. So you want to hit that notification bell so you can, catch us when we're live, right? So he put this dye on my face, and it looked like it was all black. So imagine my face just being all black from here all the way around, just all black.
Oh,
And then had to cut my hair down, just so we thought, hey, maybe you should dye the top of your hair too. I was like, no, we're not going to touch this. I got a little bit that grows. You see, I don't really grow this out too long. I got a little bit that grows, and just that little bit that grows, I got to keep it intact, and I don't want to mess up my hairline or mess up the little bit of hair that I actually have. Now the facial hair grow, but the top, just it could be Sanford and Son sometime. That's why I keep it so low. I keep it low. So I was like,
shout out to Isaiah Moss.
Yeah, shout out to Isaiah Moss. I see you in the chat, baby. I see you in the chat. So what happened is we dyed it, and it looked like it was just all over my face. And then we washed it off, did the thing, and then I was like, okay, now line it up. And when you ask your partner, you never don't ever ask your homeboy to line you up unless he's a certified barber, right? Because they always play jokes on you. They always do stuff, like the brother couldn't even. I mean, I had a little lineup already. All they had to do was follow the lineup that I already had, right? Why this nigga put my beard up here? Why my beard go from down here to up here? Okay, so imagine a black streak like this, and then this side is all big, and I'm like, nah, man. Now I gotta cut it, man. I was really trying to grow my beard out, y'all. I was trying to grow my beard out, Walt. I was trying to grow this thing out, and what happened is I end up just shaving that thing off, man. And now I'm just left with just my little landing strip here. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Landing strip.
That's it.
So
this is what y'all get. This is what y'all get, man. Y'all had the bearded freak. Y'all had the too much moxie bearded freak. Now y'all get the 15 years younger looking moxie.
Hey.
now y'all get the okay, this brother does get hoes. Now y'all get that brother. Before I was just this bearded monkey talking to y'all. Now I'm fresh to death. You feel me? Fresh to death. So y'all forgive me, man. I'm having problems with the laptop again. Y'all know this thing is freezing up, man. Locking up and jam. So I got my trusted phone as the backup. We got the big Walter down as the coach, just in case I get popped out the screen. He'll take over and run the show. We going about an hour, man. We 13 minutes in, and we ain't even got into the show just yet. But let's talk about it. Walter, man, I'm out there. I was out there on these streets. I'm 4 years married now. Beautiful wife, African queen. You understand what I'm saying? African queen. I went overseas and I said, you know what? I want a black woman. I want a black woman. I want a beautiful black original. I wanted an original. I wanted something from the motherland. Something from the motherland. And I traveled over there. I went over there. Got some videos, man. I wanted to queue up some videos for you guys, but you know what? You guys are gonna have to check us out on the Patreon. If you want to get these videos that I'm about to upload a bunch of videos on the Patreon of me going to Africa. If you want to see these videos, man. If you want to see these videos, if you want to see these beautiful women that I've encountered, y'all gotta join the Patreon. I'll find the link to the Patreon. I have that put in the chat before we end the show. But y'all got to check us out, man. Walter, man, let's talk about vetting here in the U.S. first. Before we go to the U.S., let's talk about vetting here in the U.S. What is your vetting process, right? What do you tell people to look? What do you tell people when you tell them to inspect what they expect? What do you tell them to expect? What do you tell them to inspect? How are you vetting women here in the U.S.? How are we doing it?
Yeah, it's difficult here in the U.S. because here in the U.S. you have to really see their mentality, and it's all about mentality. You have to see if they're willing to break away from the world, willing to say, hey, we're not going to do what TV says. We're not going to do what pop culture says. We're going to do us, and it sounds easy, but a lot of people, and a lot of women have a hard time doing that. And so if you're going to stick over here and vet over here, then you have to see if they're going to have a different mentality from jump. But if not, then you got to make some other decisions in short.
You got to make some other decisions, man. First of all, man, let me tell you something. When dating women over here, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you the secret to dating women here in the States. I'm gonna tell you the secret. Do not care.
I knew it was coming.
Do not care. That's the secret. If you want to date in the States, don't care about the outcome. Who cares? Don't care about what the woman thinks. Who cares? Right? Because all the thing that matters is what you want. That's it. Don't care what she thinks. Don't care what she says. I don't care. I can approach any woman I want to. Because I don't care. That's the secret here in the States. Don't care. Hey, how you doing? You got some time? No? All right then. Because I don't care. Hey, how you doing? You got some time? Yes? I don't really care. But since you have time, let's talk. Let's have a conversation. And the moment she starts sounding dumb, the moment she starts sounding slow, the moment she starts sounding just a tad bit uninterested, you know what you do? Just walk away. You're talking to one beautiful chick, right? She's giving you those signals like she's not interested. Another chick's walking by. You immediately go talk to that next chick right in front of her. That's how you date here in the States. You do not care. Why don't you care? Let me tell you why, Walter. Why don't you care? Because it doesn't matter. They're modern women anyway. What's the chance of it actually going anywhere positive? Right? What's the chance? What's the chance that she's going to stop twerking because you showed up? What's the chance? What's the chance she's going to get her life together and decide to become a mother and decide to become a woman that you can respect? Right? Decide to have values because she met you.
Yeah.
Do you really think it's going to happen like that? Do you really think it's going to happen like that? Nah. So when you're dating here, when you're here in the States on your dick discipline, right? Getting your money up, focused on your work, your job, your business, right? Getting them 60, 70, 80 hours in on a weekly basis. That's what you're focused on, right? Working hard for the money. But then you got that 1 or 2 nights a month that you get to go out. Do not care. Say what you want to say. Be direct. Make eye contact. They hate that. Make eye contact because they're not used to guys looking at them in the eyes. Make eye contact. Be masculine. Be a man. Walk with purpose. Talk with purpose. Move with purpose. That's what you got to do in these dating fields today. Not care. Rule number 1 when you're dating in the States and you're vetting these women, don't care. because the chances of you running into a good woman is slim. Slim pickings out here. And if you do happen to run into a good woman, treat her with respect. Reward her for her femininity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Reward her for her femininity.
Yeah, a lot. So some women. I tested this out when I was writing my book, that I still need to publish. But
Oh, we got Big Walter down and writing a book, y'all. Uh-oh.
yeah, I need to send some of it to you.
Okay.
I think I'm on like chapter 10 or 11, wrapping it up. But
Okay.
yeah, me and so some other guys, we got together and we compiled some data on guys going out and talking to women, and when for some strange reason when we didn't really care and we was the a-hole, we actually got more women than when we acted like we cared, and it was just strange. Like the data was just strange. I'll leave it at that because I don't want to reveal too much of my book, but it's just strange how that works. And it's like, how do you expect somebody to care if you're already approaching somebody based off of what they can do for you or what they have? Then you're automatically not focusing on them as a person. So somebody would watch this and say, hey, Moxie, you're being too harsh. A guy has to care. Wait a minute, though. But if you're not looking at a person from jump for who they are and you're looking at for what they have, then you're automatically not caring about them. And so then it becomes this superficial game. It's like, I'm trying to figure out a way to explain this.
I know you don't want to give the book away, man, but
Yeah,
give us some nuggets. And man, hey man, I know you're writing a book, man. I'm it's gonna be good. I already know.
Yeah, the book is called Escaping the Relationship Abyss, because like a lot of times, it's based off the notion that a lot of people say, oh, there's a lot of fish in the sea, but then you find out a lot of those fish swim in the same school. And it's a big ocean of fish that swim in the same school. And it's like, how do we get apart from this? And so that's how you vet people out here. Like, you don't care, but if you find somebody that you do care, then it's like, okay, or that cares about you as a person. All right, let's see how your mentality is. So, and you have to look like, is this person basing relationships off of insecurities and shallowness and superficiality? If that's what you're basing relationships off of, then hey, I gotta do what I gotta do, But if you're willing to break away from that, then you're starting to appeal to my legacy side. Now we can start working with that, but that's rare.
Right, and that's rare, man. And and let me tell you something, man. It's very difficult to trust any women in the Western world, because here's what you don't understand about women. They change. They go through stages. They're one way in their 20s. But guess what? They're another way in their 30s. Oh, and guess what? They changed again because they're another way in their 40s. And by hell, I haven't got to the 50s yet. So I can't tell you how they change in their 50s. Okay. But I can definitely tell you that there's the stages that these women go through. They change. See, women want to change men, and men just want women to stay the same. Here's another thing, women. Men don't change. We are who we are. So you keeping trying to change us, it's not going to work. You wonder why this guy is unmotivated for 5, 6, 7, 8 years? You've been with this guy, and you think all of a sudden he's going to get some motivation? Sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to tell you. That's it. What you see is what you get. If he wasn't motivated when you met him, chances are he's not going to be motivated when you're with him. Men don't typically change.
And that's another thing we kind of tested, which is sad. Um, Guys, a lot of things are superficial. So I mean, if you go out there and you focus on getting the bag, you get in the gym, make sure you're looking a certain way. Because we did that too. We got in the gym, lost about 20, 30 pounds. And I mean, it's hard to stay superhero shape all your life. But when you are in that shape, it's like a lot of women will just throw caution to the wind, like, oh, he has a six pack. Oh, he's looking like this, or he's, I call it the Chris Brown thing. You got a lot of women in their 40s still thinking that they could be with Chris Brown, and still thinking that they're going to get a Chris Brown. And so the closer you can get to a decent physique or whatever, so they could tell their homegirls, hey, yeah, I got this man. He looks a certain way. He got this, and that. Men get blamed for trying to have trophy women or trophy wives, but women do it too. And
especially when they get older, man. Especially some of these older women who still look fine, right? In their 40s and 50s, and they dating some young brother in their 20s and their 30s. Now, here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about dating older women. Here's the thing that you got to understand, though. That older woman is set in her ways. She is not trying to change, but she's trying to change you. She's trying to mold you. Matter of fact, because she's an older woman, she's going to assume and she's going to think that she knows more than you. And guess what? Guess what anybody who's older do? They're going to try to take advantage of the young. They're going to try to take advantage of you. They're going to try to manipulate you. They're going to try to be your mother. Older women. Because you're younger. You're like a son to her. You will become a son husband. And then she'll introduce you to her other son husband, who just happens to be her biological son.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's going to be having two son husbands. Right? So you got to watch out for that. You don't want to be nobody's son husband. You want to always be the man. You want to always have the masculine energy. You do not want to be the effeminate male.
And it's funny that those ones always complain about. Well, you got. It's weird. It's starting to go into all generations now, because you got women in their 30s that's starting to do what women in their 50s do as soon as they get a degree. Hey, I got my degree, blah, blah, blah. So now I just need a man that I could just, dictate things to, and that's
that's the key. Dictate things to. They want to be able to, man, let me tell you something. I was under the roof of this young woman. I got sick. Let me tell you this quick story. I got sick. I got real sick. Bouncing from house to house. I was homeless. I was sick. I needed surgery real bad, but I was trying to, I was just dealing with these nurses. Just dealing with these nurses coming over, to help me out. And this woman who I thought was my friend, right? She took me into her house. She saw me suffering and she felt for me. She said, let me take care of you. Brought me into her house. She wasn't my actual sister, but she was like a sister to me. This is how much I looked up to and respected this woman. But you almost have to understand that you can't mistake kindness for likeness. I always thought, you can't mistake kindness for likeness. But this woman happened to be attracted to me. But she was a sister. That's why I say it's difficult to have a friendship with a woman. It's difficult when men and women are friends, right? It's difficult because either one's not going to be attracted and the other one is. You know, there's always some dynamics to that. So I move in with her and her husband, and just what you're saying, all I heard was her dictate, yell at this man, abuse this man, belittle this man, complain to this man. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm sick, you know. I'm like, she's nice to me, you know, she's treating me good, but she's treating this brother. She even made this brother make me some food. She basically like, go in there, make him some food. And the brother went in there and made me some food.
Oh wow.
Like, do I need to eat this? And nigga might have put some what up in there, you know, because he's like, you know, the nigga allowed me to come under his roof. And the woman had a crush on me. And I was starting to tell. I couldn't tell before, right? I could never tell before, right? Because I don't care. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't care. I wasn't interested in her. She was just a friend. But I started noticing that, you know, she had no attraction towards me. She would say little things, you know, tell me about her relationship with her husband and things like that. And, you know, ask me things like, do I regret? And tell me things that she regret. And let me tell you something. That's another thing. If you're a man and your woman says she wants to bring another man in your house, don't do it.
Nah.
Don't do it. Honor the guy that she wants to help this man, unless he's a family member, like blood relative, don't do it. And I was that guy, and I would appreciate it. Man, I was eating, you know, good. I was eating 5 meals a day at this house, man. I mean, this girl was super taking care of me, right? But I watched her dictate to her husband. I watched her crash and burn her own relationship. By the time I left the house, and believe me, I had to run out of that house, man. It was like Silence of the. It was like what's that movie? Not Silence of the Lambs. What's that movie? What's that movie with when the guy gets hurt and he's in the bed and the woman's taking care of the man and she won't let him leave? He had like this accident. The guy had an accident, like a skiing accident or something, and this woman takes him in and nurses him back, and she ends up.
Oh, Diary of a Mad Black Woman?
No, that's not Diary of a Mad Black Woman. It's a movie. I can't think of the movie, man. Anyway. I was in that situation. I had to run up out of there. Matter of fact, the woman ended up kicking me out, making me homeless, you know, because I was like, man, you know, I had to stick up for this brother. Hey, brother, stick up for yourself. You know, I felt bad for the brother. I was like, man, don't you know she's using you? You know, so she had to get me up out of there because, you know, I got tired. You know, this woman was running away my nurses because she wanted to be my nurse. Could you imagine that? A woman run away a nurse who's trying to help you because she wants to be the nurse. She wants to tell the nurse how to do her job. I had to get up out of there, man. I ended up being homeless. Had to call my boy, hey, come get me, man. This woman crazy. Tell my boy, come get my stuff up out of this woman's house. I mean, it was crazy, man. I'll never go through nothing like that ever again. But what I'm trying to tell you, I know I went off on a tangent telling you this story. It was all about dictating, man. Watch these women in the U.S., you got to be careful because you look at them one way, and then when you bring them back home, they're a whole nother way. They're a whole nother woman. See, you're only going to dating in the U.S., you're only going to get the representative. You're never going to get the real life model. Never going to get the real them. And when you do get the real them, chances are you're not going to like the real them.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird. I asked some women in a group discussion before. I said, you know, some of the educated women that I know, and I said, why do that? Why not just get a man that you know, can objectively challenge you and you guys grow? And she was like, oh, well, we just doing what what you guys been doing to us for years. And I said, wait a minute, what? And I asked, and some of them I knew personally. I said, wait, so did you see me doing that? No, but you're different. No, did you see old boy doing that? No, but so where are these men that's doing this on a regular basis? It's not. It's only some of them are the maybe the more wealthier, or that there's a lot of men that will be the man that they need to be, and they're not out there abusing or well, I can't say
No, you can say that.
okay, or being derogatory towards women. It seems like that's being the excuse now to push forward this movement of women going out and vetting men, and that going out and vetting women, you got to be careful that you're not the one being vetted, because you will be baited. Like, hey, I've had women tell me, hey, you don't have to worry about anything. I got my own this, I got my own that. Okay, I'm not worried about that. I want to know if you're gonna respect me. Like
Exactly.
you might have your own degree, you might have your own house, you might have your own this and that, but do you have respect? Do you have, or can I objectively challenge you on some things and you not get out of pocket? Do you understand what it is? Sometimes if you're going to vet women out here, you have to ask them, what's the definition of a man? What's your definition of a man? Because
embrace yourself.
Yeah, and brace yourself. So, so just think about that. So some of them be capping. They say, you know what? I always get these men that don't want to do nothing and don't want to blah blah blah. I'm like, wait a minute, though. You're out here looking for those men, but then when it blows up in your face, or you get tired of them, now to bait and hook the next man, you got to say that man wasn't doing anything when you was actually kind of low key looking for an F boy. Because you're not looking for a real genuine organic man if all you're looking for is either looks or D or money or height. So be careful out there.
And and remember, dating here in the States, you know what these women are looking for: 6 foot, 6 pack, and 6 inches. You already know the shallowness. That's what they're looking for. So you better make sure you're all 3. Or don't be dating in these U.S. streets. Give these women what they want: 6 foot, 6 pack, 6 inches. Don't give them nothing else. Give them the D and leave them alone. Give them the D and leave them for the streets. Give them the D and don't ever call them back again. That's how you date here in the U.S. You just don't care. You know why? Because there's no incentive to care. There's no incentive. There's no femininity. Right? There's no respect.
Me is cracking up at you right now.
Yeah, there's no respect. I'm keeping it one. I'm keeping it 1 thou. I'm keeping it a thou wow. I'm keeping it a buck, a stack, a G, whatever you want to call it. Right? Do not care when you're dating in the States. Don't care. Like I said, if you run into a good one, man, praise be the gods. Praise be Allah if you run into a good one, right? But chances are it's not gonna happen. There's more modern women than there are traditional women. The toxic culture makes it so it's like having a needle in a haystack when looking for these women.
Yeah, a good thing to do is find out if she's actually willing to please you, because when I do my sessions with singles or couples or whatever, I ask the single, or I'll ask the wife or the significant other in the relationship, hey, your husband doesn't want you to wear those long eyelashes anymore. well, that's just me. That's just me that's just what I do. And I'm like, okay, was you wearing those eyelashes before it started trending? No, well, then that's not you. You're pleasing the world, and you're keeping up with the trends to please the world and not please your husband or your long-term boyfriend, right? And so if you're not showing it, that's disrespect to a man. If you're showing another man, and the world can be another man, if you're showing another man the respect, if you're showing the government more respect than your husband or long-term boyfriend, if you're showing trends, media more respect, and you see your woman doing that, get up out of there, or bring it to attention first. Say, hey, do you realize you get on me for saying my little request, but yet as soon as the world says something, you jump and do it. And she's like, oh, you know what? I didn't know that. Then cool. Then y'all could take it from there. But if she's like, well, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. I don't know why you always blah 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 blah. Hey, okay, do your thing. I'm gonna go get me a girl from overseas.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why you got to get your passport. That's why you got to make some money, and you got to understand. So let's what we talked enough about U.S. women. Let's talk about these overseas women. Right? Let's talk about these overseas women. What challenges are you facing dealing with these overseas women? What challenges are you facing when dealing with these overseas women? Well, let me tell you this. I can tell you this. The fact that they're overseas, that's a big challenge right there. The fact that you don't even know if you're talking to a man behind the other screen, that's a huge challenge. If you're here in the States and you're trying to talk to a woman online who happens to be overseas, let's talk about that. That's a big challenge. One of the first things I would suggest you do when you're talking to a woman overseas is you got to do research. Do your research on her country. Use Google. Reach out. This is not the time for you not to be social or not to be networking. Network in that country. Find men, find women, network in that country. Get a feel for the pulse before you go down there. Especially if you're talking to this chick on sea. Let's say you found you a chick, you're talking to her online, she happens to be in another country, right? What do you do? She's drop dead gorgeous, right? What do you do? Well, you have to inspect what you expect. The same way you would be over here in the States, you need to be even more resilient when dealing with a woman overseas. If you're direct in the States, you need to be direct overseas. If you're not direct in the States, you need to be more direct when dealing with overseas women. I don't think you need to play games here. I think you can be yourself. If you're not used to being yourself, I don't know what to tell you. What I find when I'm talking to even foreigners who are here in the U.S., I find them to be more sincere. I find them to have better communication skills, right? I find them to be more cordial and have more decorum, right? I find them to carry themselves in a more, if you're dealing with a woman, a more feminine way than you see the women here in the States carry themselves. I find them to be a pleasure to talk to because they have a world view opposed to just very shallow and diluted American view on things, right?
You see, it's me.
It's me saying? I'm still going full United Nations inspection in any foreign woman. It just is what it is. Hey. Full United Nations inspection in any foreign woman is just what it is. Yeah, you have to do your due diligence. Let me tell you something. Google is your friend. Learn about the culture. Learn about the people there. Learn about the customs there. Learn about the money there. Those are things you need to do when you're talking to a woman from another country, foreign seas, and you want to vet them correctly. You got anything that you want to add on that, Walter? You just want to Google. You want to vet. You want to vet correctly.
Yeah. Also, yeah. Look, watch out for digital tricks because I met a couple people overseas. And there's a couple cool ones. But one funny thing that happened to me, I believe this is a couple months ago. And don't be giving out no money either. Like, because some of them, it'll even not even be like 2 or 3 days out. They'll try to start asking you for some money. Don't do that. All right. But because that could very well be a scam or somebody that's super broke. But anyway, though, what happened to me one time a couple months ago was they was like, yeah, I like you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, cool. I said, let's video chat. They sent me a recording of a video chat and hurry up and hung up and said that the reception on the internet was going out. I was like, no, that's a video recording.
So what you got to do is you got to, when you're talking to a woman overseas, right? Let me tell you. Let me give you the rundown. You want to make sure that you can video chat with these women. You don't want to waste time. Let me tell you something. Any woman that doesn't want to FaceTime or jump online or acts like her internet's slow, don't talk to her. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Don't talk to her. Okay? Any woman that's not, listen, I'm like this. You need to be aggressive. Okay? You need to be on the offense, not the defense. You need to be telling her this is what you want. This is what you expect. You need to be on her head, for lack of a better word. Okay? You gotta speed this thing up, man. It doesn't take long. You have to be very direct with these women, right? You have to make sure that when you're that you know who you're talking to. So you want to get on. So I would say this: Google find. Okay, let me do it this way. After you Google and find out the code, the custom, the culture, right? Talk to a few men in that in that culture, right? You want to actually talk to some men over there. You actually want to talk to you want to know, how are the guys dealing with the women over there? How do they deal with them? So you talk to them. How do you talk to man, you know how to run these social media streets. You know how to make friends. You know how to talk to people. They're going to tell you to get there. You know how to get on the video cam and just start, there's no reason why you shouldn't be video camming in 2022.
Come on now.
There's no reason why you shouldn't be video chatting in 2022. All these social media have an access, have a messenger or a chat system or a DM system to where you can video chat and actually see. If they're scared to get on the cam, X her out. Move on to the next one. Have that same mentality you have here in the States. Have it over there. Move on to the next. Do not care. You have to vet these women, because let me tell you something. These foreign women they'll play games. They play games here in the States, but they play games overseas as well too. Okay, and you got to understand and you got to know that. So you want to make sure that you are Skyping with them, getting them on the phone, calling them, making sure they are who they say they are. You want to be talking to her about her family. You want to know about her family. You want to make sure she's not a scammer. You want to find out if there's any, you want to find out her police background. You want to find out if she has a criminal record. You want her to show you her ID, her passport, right? If she doesn't have these things, don't talk to her. It's a waste of time. Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes overseas, sometimes it's not just that woman working. Sometimes that they'll get, there's a man that has an idea and he'll gather a bunch of broke women in whatever country, any given country, and start doing a telemarketer thing. And uh,
Man, you gotta watch out. Let me tell you two countries that unless you're physically in those countries, you do not talk to these women if they're online. Nigeria is one,
don't say it,
and Ghana is
bruh.
one. If you're talking to a woman from Nigeria or Ghana and it's online, be very afraid. Especially if you actually get a phone call and they sound like this. Hello, hello. Oh, my darling, I want to see you, my darling. Oh, baby. And you're like, what the hell is wrong with your voice? Oh, it's me, my baby. Oh, my baby. It's me. It's me, my baby. I love you so much. Ah, this freaking dog. Get down. Y'all got to forgive me, man. I got this dog. Get down. Go.
I ran into a Russian like that too, though. They be doing that over in Russia
like
too.
Y'all gotta forgive me, man. I done went dark. My dog then freaking. Give me a second. Walter, take over real quick. I'm gonna put you on the solo cam, man. Let you talk. Let me fix this light real quick.
All right, yeah. But yeah, we have a responsibility. Even before you go overseas, we have a responsibility to reshape the way things are out here as well. You know, us as men, we need to stop simping, and we need to fight. We need to fight the culture that's going on. We need to fight what the men before us created, because a lot of chivalrous, toxic chivalrous men that came before us, who was about like things like happy wife, happy life. You know, we have to usher into something new and say, hey, happy spouse, happy house. You know, whether we're dealing with women from out here or overseas, like, hey, you know, how are we both going to make this work? How are we both going to cultivate? Because you do have some women overseas that think that they're about to come over here. They was like, are you a millionaire? I'm like, no. I said, I got a good job, you know. I could bag the 6 figures, but you know, it's not. I'm a man. I'm not a pipe dream, you know. And so whether you're dealing with women out here or over there, you need to vet them to see you as a man, not as a wallet, not as a way of escape, not as anything other but a man that when you get with me, we're going to cultivate this land, build our own empire. And if you're not down with that and you just want to sit and not use your tools, let me know. I'm going to find out. And now I'll get with somebody that will use tools with me.
Yeah, and let me let you know, man. A lot of these foreign women, man, especially if you find a traditional woman, she's gonna build with you. She's gonna help you. She's not gonna be afraid to get a job. Okay, she's not gonna be afraid to get her hands dirty. That's what when you're looking for a woman overseas, look for the woman that's working. Look for the woman who is building her family. What do I mean by building her family? She's a hard worker. Let me tell you something. When I met my wife, I vetted her online. I'm gonna go through the list. I might if I get 200 likes, because there's 348 people in the chat. If I get 200 likes, I will post my my notes on dating, on vetting overseas women. I'll put them in the chat. I'll put a PDF file or version of it. If I get not 200. I need 500 likes for this. I'm gonna charge you. I'm not charging you money. I'm gonna charge you likes. I need 500. If I get 500 likes, Just 500 likes on this video, even though there's only 349 people in the chat. So that means people who are rewatching it. If you're rewatching this, I'll post my notes on how to vet foreign women. Okay, you'll get the notes because we got about maybe like 5 more minutes before we end this chat, right? But I will post the notes to this chat. And if you guys want us to do a more in-depth on this, you're going to have to join the Patreon. Too Much Moxie Podcast is the Patreon. Just go to Patreon and type in Too Much Moxie Podcast. The Patreon is going to pop up. Now, right now, there's no videos on there. There's no videos on, but we're going to get to it. That's why I'm not promoting it hard, right? Because we got to put some content on there first. But if you want me and Walter, or even myself, whatever, to do a video specifically on vetting women overseas and give you the ins and the outs. You see, Walter knows what he's doing. Look, I'm married. I got my wife. I went and did. I'm gonna show you the exact process that I went through. Married 4 years strong, right? That I went through to vet my wife, who was from another country. Vet her to make sure she was worthy, and she was who she said she was, and bring her over. I'm going to do a Patreon exclusive on that. If I just get 500 likes, if you give me 500 likes on this video, then I know that you want to learn how to vet women overseas. But let me give you the rundown real quick, just real quick. You want to number one, make sure you research that country. You want to not only do you want to research that country, right? But you want to make sure that you video chat with. You want to make sure that you video chat. You research the country, you talk to the woman, you video chat, you make sure you do your due diligence that she's not a scammer. You look for criminal records, you ask for copies of her credentials, right? All that stuff. You ask for pictures and videos that you can't easily access online, right? You want video of you and her talking, not no recorded video, not no, oh, we can only talk for 5 seconds and then the lights go out, or the electricity is, you don't want to hear none of that stuff. Now, understand this stuff, the internet is not that great in third world countries, especially if you're talking about Africa and things like that. Okay. So that is understandable, but that can't happen all the time. Okay. My wife is from East Africa, okay, and there are times that we're talking, and the lights will go out, and if the lights go out, she's usually on the Wi-Fi, right? So if the Wi-Fi is out and the lights out, she can't, boom, the call drops, and then she'll buy some minutes, she'll buy some credits, buy some whatever, some some internet. And she'll call me back. So you have to understand that there's no excuse that this woman can't get on camera. I don't care at what time. I don't care if it's 3 a.m. There's no excuse that she can't jump on camera. So don't let that stop. Make sure she jumps on camera. And here's the most important thing. Never, ever, ever send her money. Never send money to any woman online that you never met in person. And that goes for OnlyFans too. That goes for IG models too. That goes for here in the US also. But especially if you're just contacting a woman overseas in another country, I don't care if her mom passes away. I don't care if her grandma slips and busts her foot or busts her butt. I don't care if the farm is doing terrible, right? I don't care if locusts came and ate up all the fruit. I don't care what excuse that she gives you. You 100% absolutely never, ever, ever send money to a woman you've never met in person. Absolute. Absolute. And the takeaway. Here is the catcher. Do not bring another man's woman back to the States. If you're in a relationship, then it's important that you do not bring another man's woman back to the States. It's a con. It's a game, right? She comes over here. The husband's like, go sleep. The husband has another wife anyway. So he sends his one wife, go to the States, make money, and send it back home to us. Don't be that guy. Don't be so naive. Don't be so, I don't know what's the one I'm looking for, so ignorant, so dumb, so easy. Don't be a simp and bring back another man's wife. Do your due diligence when dating overseas. It can be scary. It can be. But if you do your due diligence and you vet this woman correctly, you take your time. It's not a quick process here. Take your time. You're going to need time to save up before you fly out anyway. You're going to need 3 to 6 months. If you're talking to a woman, give yourself 3 to 6 months of online chatting before you just fly out over there. Because I don't want you to fly out over there and they kidnap your butt. I don't want you to fly out over there, right? And you think it's one way, but it's really another way. I don't want you to fly out there and they drug you and rob you and steal your money. Take your time. Or your kid. Take your time. I don't care if you're traveling to Brazil, Colombia, Thailand, Philippines, East Africa, South Africa, wherever you're going. Eastern Europe, I don't care. Wherever you're going. Make sure you do your due diligence and your research on the place. Make sure you're always safe. If you can go with somebody, go with somebody. If you're going alone, be safe. You should know the woman that you're dealing with. If you've been talking to her for 3 to 6 months, if you're talking to a woman for 3 to 6 months, she better be, you know what I'm saying? You better be on camera with her most of the time. Matter of fact, technology, listen, if she doesn't have the technology to talk to you, she doesn't need to be talking to you. It's now in my opinion, it's better to fly down there, right? And meet random girls and talk that way. That's the best way. Because if you're talking to one for 3 to 6 months, right? And you go out there, she's gonna expect you to spend all the time with her. And you won't get any variety. You'll just get her. I mean, you can. I mean, you could be like, you get down there and you can just be the coldest brother on the block. Okay, we kicked it. It was cool. We hung out. We'll hang out some more, but I got to do some things by myself. You can do that. You can do that. But I would suggest that you vet a woman over here. Really get to know her, because that's what that online, that distance does. That 3 to 6 months, it helps the heart grow fonder. But you ask all the questions, you learn all the ins and outs about her. Then you fly down there. I suggest you get to know that woman well enough that you stay with her and her family.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily get an Airbnb if you don't have to be. If that woman's family has a home, you want to stay. You want to stay with them. You want to be around their culture. That's how you're really going to get to know if that woman is who she said she was. Now, there's nothing wrong getting an Airbnb and things like that. I mean, you want to do that too. You want to, if you want to be safer, get you an Airbnb or get you a hotel down there. I don't know how long you're gonna stay. When I travel overseas, I stay for 2-3 months. I'm not there for 1 week. You see what I'm saying? It's a little different. If you're there just for 1 week, then you probably want to stay at the hotel, at the resort, you know? But if you're going to be down there 2-3 months, you want to stay with a family. You want to get the full experience of traveling overseas. You want to get the maximum treatment. So you go out there 2-3 months. Let me see what Grace says. Every woman should get good vet over the whole world. Yes. We got to vet all women. We got to vet all women, Grace. Just like men got to be vetted, we've got to vet all women all over the world because we want to find the one that's right for us. You know, don't get down there and get stuck on just one. Experience. Meet lots of women. Don't necessarily go on looks. Go on presentation. Let me say that again. Don't necessarily look for the baddest chick in another country.
Right.
Go for presentation. Because let me tell you something, the baddest chicks in another country, don't you think they know they bad? They know it. I'm not saying don't get the baddest chick, right? But I'm saying that's not what you're looking for when you're looking for the heart. You're looking for the sincerity. You're looking for the genuineness. You're looking for the genuine care, right? The genuine interest. That's what you're after. Of course, she's going to be presentable. Of course, she's going to be fit because they usually are in these countries. So here's what I suggest. If you're a man in the States and you're used to getting 5s and 6s, when you go to the foreign country, just go 2 degrees higher. You'll get 7, 8s, and 9s. If you're used to getting 6s and 7s, you're going to get 8s and 9s when you go overseas. If you're used to getting 3s and 4s, you're probably going to get 4s and 5s when you go overseas. That's your level. Here's the advantage in dating overseas is the women are definitely going to look better than American women. They are. They're just going to be fit. They're just going to be friendlier, and they're going to have that feminine. They're going to be oozing with femininity. Okay? So it's not about going over there getting the finest chick. It's about going over there getting the chick that's going to be your wife, the chick that's going to, be your ride or die. So that's what I got on vetting overseas. If you want me to do a more in-depth on this, and I can go in depth. I can break it down. I got some notes on this. It's culture and values,
Yes.
not looks per se. That's what It's Me said. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the culture. That's the number one thing you're looking for when you're going overseas. You're looking for that. Does this woman have a culture that she belongs to and that she follows, right? Does she have a religion, right? Does she have a community to where other women do the same thing that she's doing? Because that's what's going to that's what's wrong with here in America. These women are all wild. The community is wild. There's not really much culture. There's not really much conservativeness. It's promiscuity. It's liberalism. You want a woman that comes from a culture, that comes from a religion, that comes from a place where where they know how to value men, where men are valued, where they understand and know the value of a man. That's what you're looking for. It's not looks. Because I'm telling you, you're going to get good looks when you go overseas. If you're dating one type of woman, I guarantee when you go over a woman, she's going to be better than the women you date here in the States. I can guarantee that. Guaranteed. If you're used to getting a certain type of woman here in the States, you go overseas, the woman you date overseas is going to be way better looks wise. than the women you're usually dating in the US. Keeping it stacked. If you're used to getting beautiful women, guess what? You're just going to keep getting beautiful women. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't go for looks. Look, with looks come higher maintenance. If you can take care of a higher maintenance woman, then go for it. But you're looking for the woman that's going to work hard. You're looking for a hard working foreign woman. So when you do bring her to the States, she's going to have that same work ethic, family, and culture and bring that here to the States. Now, I can talk about, bringing women over here and all of a sudden they change and they start getting Americanized and going along with the culture and all that other stuff, right? There are certain things you got to do. There are certain communities you have to build within a community. There's certain places you may not want to move and live. But I will tell you this. If you vet a woman correctly overseas, if you vet her correctly overseas and you bring her overseas, the stats say that you're going to stay married longer to the woman that you marry overseas than you would from the woman that you marry here in the States. But you must vet them correctly before you bring them here. And she must have culture. She must have a community. She must come from both parent background. Does that make sense? You want a community. So when your wife, here's the advantage that you're going to have. If your wife messes up, or the woman that you're in a relationship with overseas messes up, the community will put her back in line for you. The parents, the brothers, the sisters, the aunts, the uncles, they will help you keep that woman on the right path, because she doesn't want to disappoint her family. She doesn't want to abort and lose her religion or her culture or her family, because those things are important to her. So she's going to follow the customs and the traditions. And she's going to listen, most important, listen to her parents when they give her advice. So if your woman's messing up here in the States, you call her dad, you call her mom. Hey, here you go. You give them the phone. You know what's going to happen? She's going to get in line, because that's her culture. That's all I got for you guys, man. Like I said, I want to do a more in-depth study. I had all kinds of stuff, but I'll just give you my notes. I'll just give you my notes. Give me 500 likes on this, and I'll make available. I'll put in the comments my notes on this particular video on how to vet overseas women. I'll give you. It'll have details. It's gonna, man. It's good. Trust me. It might be what do you call it? It might be a pamphlet. It might be law. You might look at these like the 10 commandments of dating overseas. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a video on the Patreon, the 10 commandments of dating overseas. We're gonna do it. The 10 commandments of dating overseas or foreign women. The 10 commandments of how to vet overseas women. If you want access to my notes on this, all you got to do is give me 500 likes, and I will come back and I will post it in the comments for all you guys to see. You got any final words for us, Walter, man, before we get up out of here, man? We did an hour and 14 minutes, man. Not too bad. What you got?
Yeah, we did pretty good. If anybody ever wants to hit us up on the Patreon. You could even put any things in the chat if you want me to make a video with my expertise on singles and couples, because I was married before also, and I did 20 years singles couples ministry, life coach. If you want me to make a video of a specific topic, let me know. Also one thing that we didn't cover and we could probably cover in the Patreon is once you vet a woman, once you get a woman, you have a big responsibility to not fall off. You're going to make some mistakes, but you have a big responsibility to lead your family. And if you don't feel like you're the best leader, get with the manosphere, get with some of us men, and we'll help you to be the man. Because it's one thing to vet, it's one thing to land the contract, to land the job, but then it's another thing to do the job. You know, you got people out there that's not qualified, but they know how to get it though. So with that being said, you know, thank you for you guys' time. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And I'm here for the community. So whatever y'all need me to do, I'll do. Shout out to It's Me. Shout out to Olivia Hughes. Shout out to Grace Wood. Shout out to Craig Davis. And especially shout out to Isaiah Moss. He was the first one in. So y'all be good. Y'all enjoy your weekend. I'm about to enjoy my Friday, do this last day of work, get this bag.
And with that being said, this is the Too Much Moxie podcast. And we are out. Peace.
Yeah, I feel like